Hey everybody, what's going on? Hellmite here, bringing you another video from Grab the Lantern today. It's Tuesday and the patch notes have been posted, which means it's time for us to count down the top 5 changes of patch 12.11. As always, I'll be going through the biggest changes of this week's patch, and then you guys know what you can be looking forward to in the coming weeks. 12.11 has a ton of changes because it is the follow-up to the big durability update. There were a bunch of champions that were affected, some positively, some very negatively, and Riot have gone through and made a lot of adjustments not only to champions, but also to a lot of systems. So there is a ton to cover here. I will not be able to get to all of it, so definitely check out these patch notes on your own. But if you're interested in the top 5 changes, I got you guys covered, starting here with the number 5 change, which is the introduction of Bel'Veth, the Void Empress. Now, I'm not that excited about Bel'Veth. I have a lot of qualms about her from a mechanical standpoint. I've made a previous video about this that was linked down in the description if you guys want to take a look at that. But she is going to be coming live with this patch, and she will certainly see a lot of play, especially on her first couple of days. So be forewarned for a lot of Bel'Veth coming soon, and we'll see where her balance is at once she releases. Moving on down to the number 4 change here are the Gwen nerfs. Now, I am very excited about these changes because Gwen has been all over pro play for a long time. There was a very small window after her E was nerfed where she was not played professionally, and then Riot rebuffed it to basically try and compensate her a little bit, and then she immediately came back into pro play, and she has been there for almost a full year, I want to say, at this point. So this has been a long time coming. The E nerf obviously is an approach to try and make it so that Gwen can spam it less in order to give her a weaker jungle clear and just weaker trading potential in the top lane overall. But I'm also very excited about the W nerfs here, which are going to make Gwen significantly less tanky by just pressing W, forcing her to rely more on the untargetability that her W provides rather than just as a generic defensive steroid, and by also increasing the cooldown, so Gwen will never get this more than once in a team fight unless she builds an excessive amount of ability haste, and at that point her damage is going to suffer. So I really think this will make Gwen feel a lot more fair to deal with, and it will hopefully remove her from pro play. I wouldn't be surprised if the durability update preserved some of her strength through these nerfs, but I'm very happy with the direction in general, and that Gwen is finally getting looked at overall. Moving on down to the number 3 changes here, we've got the Master Yi nerfs. Now, Tank Master Yi has been a thing following the durability update because, as it turns out, if a tanky champion gets to deal true damage, it kind of doesn't matter if they're building full tank because true damage is true damage and very few champions can resist that. So as a result, Riot are very slightly nerfing Yi's durability. It's really not that big of a deal. The health nerf, that feels mostly irrelevant to me. It feels more like they just wanted to make it a nice clean number at 100 rather than 106. But having less true damage on hit is going to be a big deal. It means that Master Yi will have to attack you more often than he does in his tank build in order to get the same amount of damage he's used to, which ultimately means that Master Yi will have to be building things like attack speed and on hit in order to make this work versus his current tank-oriented playstyle where he just kind of doesn't care. He does enough damage on hit. I am unsure if this is truly enough to nerf Yi into the ground, but it's definitely a good first effort. I wouldn't be surprised if Master Yi needed another look at on the next patch. We're going to be scrolling all the way down here for our number 2 change, which are changes to Zeri. That's right, Zeri is not very scary right now. She's disappeared entirely since her gutting a few patches ago, so Riot are trying to bring her back without making her overbearing. To do this, they're sacrificing a lot of Zeri's utility and mobility for damage, which is a good approach in my opinion. Her focus should be around her skillful, skill shot-based auto-attacking, rather than her ability to provide a lot of utility to her team and also be extremely difficult to catch. I don't think that's very fair, and I feel like this is a good way of approaching it. As a result, Zeri has lost her slow on her fully charged auto attack. And the slow on her W has been decreased. As well, her E and her R have gotten some adjustments to have less upfront mobility. But in exchange, Burst Fire is going to hit harder, W can now crit when fired through walls, and Zeri gets way more stacks when she hits a champion with her ultimate explosion. So that, I think, is a good approach moving forwards. I think she should be more about the damage, and I'm really excited to see how these are going to shake out. I do feel like Zeri is going to be a difficult champion to balance until Riot make it so Burst Fire can't proc Sheen. I think that's the biggest problem they're having with balancing her right now, but we'll see how this goes. At the very least, it will make her feel a little bit better to play on live, even if you're still trying to be the Sheen abuser. And finally, there are a lot of items changes here, guys. Mage items, tank items, almost all these items got looked at. But the biggest one I wanted to talk about here, my number 1 change, is the change to Grievous Wounds. Now, Riot are saying that Grievous Wounds are way too impactful right now, which forces Riot to push healing to unreasonable levels in order for the champions who rely on healing, such as Dr. Muno or Soraka, to be able to do their jobs. What we end up in is a situation where these champions have such high healing that you have to have Grievous Wounds to remotely make them balanced, and if you don't have Grievous Wounds, you just can't deal with them, period. So the approach that Riot are taking is to make Grievous Wounds weaker, and therefore make high healing champions need that excessive amounts of healing less, but to compensate the items that have Grievous Wounds on them with power elsewhere. Ideally, this makes Grievous Wounds a conscious choice against high healing enemies, not just an enemy that can heal, right? There's a difference between a Soraka, who is based around healing entirely, and a Janna, who has healing, but that shouldn't be the reason you're building Grievous Wounds, right? So these items in general all have some very nice buffs that make them more baseline usable, but this is to compensate for the fact that Grievous Wounds got weaker overall. This also applies to champions that are able to apply Grievous Wounds through their kit, so Katarina, Kled, Singed Varus, and the Ignite Summoner spell, those all got weaker as well. But hopefully it doesn't dramatically hurt them too much. I do feel like, for the most part, these champions have Grievous as kind of an afterthought, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal for them. It shouldn't affect their balance by a tremendous amount, and the fact that they have it inbuilt means that they don't really have a cause to buy these items, which I think is sort of a nice trade-off here. So I still wonder about Grievous Wounds as a system in general, especially one that's super easy to opt into. I think that's the problem that Riot are having more than anything else, but we'll see where these changes are able to put not only high healing champions, but also Grievous Wounds as a system. And that is going to be it for me today, guys. Those are the top 5 changes of patch 12.11. As always, let me know what you're most excited for down in the comment section below. I'm excited for Bel'Veth. I'll play her. I do wonder about her overall balance and design, but I am at the very least excited to get my hands on her. But you guys will have to let me know what you're excited for down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video today, go ahead and leave it a like. And if you really enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. I upload a video every Monday, Friday, and on patch days like today as well. Once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I'll talk to you all later.